One thing I noticed pretty quick as soon as I did all the black grill and trim bits is the chrome headlights just stuck out even worse than before. Luckily, the night edition headlights from the 25 and 3500 fit 100% perfectly. Nobody could give me a straight answer whether the headlights were the same between those and the 55. So I took a chance, ordered some online. About an hour worth of work, a couple 10mm bolts, and I was good to go. Super easy swap, everything plug and play, same bracket, same plugs, literally everything was identical. So FYI, the headlights from the 35 and 55 are 100% identical. You'll see in a minute how crazy the difference is. Final product, night edition headlights installed with the Tradesman grill. The grill, trim pieces, and headlights are all off of a 3500 because there's no parts available online for the 55. So FYI, they're all interchangeable in the same. 25, 35, 45, 5500s are all the same front end pieces. After having 3 close calls with animals up in Canada, I wanted the biggest, baddest bumper I could get, along with the Factor 55 recovery stuff. It's a Buckstop bumper made in Oregon, been around 20 years. Prefer to give my money to smaller businesses, keep it in the U.S., keep American people working. This bumper is designed for the worn 16.5 winch, fit like a glove, has an access door up top, easy access to all the controls. Absolute amazing fit, finish, and everything on this. It's a heavy son of a bitch. There's all the info for Buckstop for you guys. Here it is installed. Wasn't actually half as bad as I thought. Buddy Mike helped me and we did it with an engine hoist. Took about half hour. So there's a whole separate row of holes for the new flares. Never used rib nuts before. A friend of mine, Mike, showed me how to do it. Pretty neat tool. Makes things a lot easier than nut and bolts, so you don't have to go to both sides of the fender to take one off. Basically drill a hole, insert this, pull it like a rivet, and then you have a threaded hole to put it in there. Test fit of the flares. It's good full coverage. Not super stoked on the fit and finish of all this. I don't know if that's just the nature of fiberglass or what. Not many other options, so I'm just going to have to deal with it for now, I guess. Yeah, not too stoked on that, but that can be fixed at a later date. I do say they match the radius of the tires perfectly, so everything looks in line. Got the clear lenses on there for now for the auxiliary lights. Kind of switch back and forth between those and amber. Had the flares all Linexed and put the trim on them. Put them all back on. I think Linex San Diego did an awesome job. Super happy with their service. Everyone's asking why I didn't go with LP9s and why I went with 6s. Well, the answer is cooling. LP9s would have fit, but they would have filled that entire hole right there and would have prevented a lot of cooling from getting into the radiator, which is not good. Factor 55 Ultra Hook and Fair Lead, the Buckstop 2-inch front receiver. Going to use that as a step to actually work on the truck. Full coverage of the flare. I'm liking that. Won't get any road spray from the tires. Tires actually look like they're normal size now with all the flare and bumpers installed. Yeah, those steps are going to have to be reworked for sure. Buckstop's the only company I know of that makes a skid plate for the 19 and newer Rams that actually covers anything. Super well designed, lots of protection, lots of cooling, airflow, cooler radiator. Very simple yet genius and bulletproof design. Threw the amber lenses on just to try them. A lot of people are raving about them, saying they're a lot easier on the eyes and such. Never been a fan, but that was 10 years ago and I've aged. So I'll see if it's better on my eyes now. A total of about 70,000 lumens, top and bottom. So I should have plenty of light. The other thing, another reason of the 6s over the 9s is the access to the door winch hatch. 9s are a bit thicker, so it would have obstructed this, or I would have had to move them out further towards the front, which would have put them in harm's way, basically. So several reasons I went with the 6s. Absolutely love Baja Designs stuff. Always have. Been a customer about 15 years. It's about as good as it gets. This gap is done on purpose for the frame flex after we tested it. It flexed. See auxiliary switches? Called the upfitter switches by Ram. Super awesome option. I don't know why all vehicles don't come with these. Basically, the truck is already set up with an S-Pod. Has a giant bank of relays and fuses. And all you do is you plug into that and you're done. Everything's already ran through the firewall. The relays and fuses are in that box right there to the right. Plug and play. I like it. The truck comes with a bag of all these plugs and wire leads. All the leads are pink with different colored tracers, which is kind of a pain in the butt, but it's not that big of a deal. This is the bag it comes with. See all the different leads. There's 2 different plugs for a total of 8 leads you can use for other things. The smaller ones are different colors, but all the big ones are pink. Super easy to install them. Basically just yank out the waterproof plug. Couldn't find my needle nose, so I use these. Kind of caveman-ish, but it works. Basically, you just insert the wire. You have to make sure the tab is going the right way. There's a little indentation on it, and it clicks in. You see the little rubber seal. Boom, it's waterproof, and it's installed. You have to look really, really close. I couldn't even get it with the camera. The wires are labeled 1, 2, 3, 4, corresponding with the switches on the dash. The numbers are almost microscopic, but they are on that plug. That's not a ground wire. That's just one of the colors that comes with it. Looks like that when you're done. That's it. I labeled them all. So once I plug it in, I don't have to look at those microscopic numbers anymore. and you can go in the dash and you can program them whether you want them momentary latching, whether you want them activated by the ignition or if you always want them hot. Pretty dang slick feature. It's all factory stuff. I set mine to battery hot.